Welcome to the Stop Over Drinking and Start Living podcast, where high-achieving, goal-oriented rebel women come to learn how to live a vibrant and fulfilling life without requiring alcohol to get through it. No labels, no judgments, no saying you'll never drink again. Just real proven methods to help you stop rebelling against yourself with alcohol so you can drink less and do more. I'm your host, Angela Mascenik. Let's dig in. Welcome to episode 98, How Being Authentic Leads to Drinking Less. Well, hello. How are you all? I am fantastic over here on episode 98. I'm so excited about approaching episode number 100. Have you guys signed up for the podcast party where I'm going to be recording my 100th episode live on Zoom for all to see? The link is in the show notes here, so just click through, sign up to attend that podcast party. We're going to have music, prizes, giveaways. I'm going to have some special guests of people that have been on the podcast come on and say hello. It's going to be a good time. So sign up and join me there for the 100th episode recording of the Stop Over Drinking and Start Living podcast. Okay, so now as a part of that, right, we are leading up to the 100th episode, and I'm giving away $100 Amazon gift cards for people who leave me a review and then send me an email with the title of their review on iTunes. And so this week's episode winner is Lisa, and this is what Lisa wrote. I never write reviews. This is my first time I've ever written a review. I'm usually the one reading others' reviews, but I felt compelled to finally write one. Listening to Angela's podcasts have helped me learn more about myself. I have learned coping skills to deal with the everyday stresses of life. This is huge for me, as I can be my own worst enemy. I've learned to process my feelings before certain actions. I've learned to make self-care a priority, forgive myself for past mistakes, and look forward to new challenges. If you are feeling like you need to reboot, these podcasts are for you. Subscribe and enjoy the journey. Lisa, thank you so much for taking the time to write me that amazing review. Listen, I don't take your guys' reviews lightly. I appreciate the time that you take to figure out how to write a review and to leave me one. And I just love what Lisa wrote about how she's identified some coping skills to the everyday stresses of life are our big challenges. Typically, it's not the big things like COVID or the election or a big event, right? It's our little tiny everyday things that we do on a daily basis or experience every day, like our little comments back and forth with our spouses, our interaction with our kids, or what happens at work, right? It's the everyday things that lead us to doing some of the things that we don't want to be doing, like over drinking and overeating, right? So I just so appreciate your comment, Lisa, and I'm so glad you're here. And thank you, thank you, thank you. I will email you with your $100 Amazon gift card. All right, you guys, there is one more opportunity to get your $100 Amazon gift card. So drop me a review on iTunes and then send me an email with the title of your review, and I'll enter you to win. Next week, I'm announcing the final winner, and then there's going to be more prizes on the podcast party. All right, so I wanted to kick off today's podcast with an email that I got from somebody. And I've been meaning to write a podcast episode on authenticity because it was a big part of my own journey to stop over drinking, is becoming my true authentic self and not editing myself and not hiding who I am or what I think or what I believe from my family, from my friends, from the general public, from my customers, any of that, because I did that for a really long time. I edited myself. I tried to fit some mold that I thought I should fit in to be a part of society, to be successful. I wanted to be polished and, fit this description of what I thought somebody, sort of where I was in my life needed to look like. And that caused me to overdrink. Okay, so when I was trying to fit into a mold and edit myself and be somebody that I wasn't, I felt a disconnect from myself, and it led me to drink more. So at the very beginning of my journey, I decided that I wasn't going to do that anymore. I was going to be rough around the edges. I wasn't going to have the best grammar. There was probably going to be spelling mistakes, and I swear and I cuss and I use profanity in how I talk and how I communicate. And I decided that I was going to keep doing those things and just be me, because there's nothing wrong with being just me. I fit into this world as I am without changing a dang thing. And when I really settled into my own authenticity, being my true authentic self, I went way bigger in my life than I ever thought was possible. Okay? So I've been wanting to write this episode for a while, but it really spurred me to write it based on where we are in our current times, especially in America with this presidential election, with everything that's been going on with anti-racism and, being open to equal rights and all of that stuff. So here it is. This is going to be probably uncomfortable for a lot of you guys to hear, but I want you to stick with it if you can and be open to thinking about something differently. Know that this comes from my values and me being my true authentic self, and I'm encouraging you all to do the same. So hang on with me here through this episode, all right? So I received this email from a listener or somebody on my email list. It says, "Dear Angela, I was a dedicated listener and strongly considering coaching with you. We have been a very successful business owners for 20 years. My husband and I are smart enough to know that as soon as you mix your political opinions in with your business, you lose 50% of your business. After seeing some of your political posts, including vulgar profanity, I no longer want to have any association with your business, as I see it as unprofessional and quite frankly narcissistic that you think we need to hear your political opinions. I was listening to you to learn, in quotes, what you know about successfully cutting back on drinking, not to hear your political views. Please remove me from your emailing list. By the way, I am not a bigot, racist, or Nazi just because I am a Republican. We are good and kind people to all." So to this email writer, I want to thank you for sending that to me and for taking the time to share what you think and what you believe, okay? Normally, or not normally, but in the past, if I was doing this business before coaching, or if I was in a, work relationship or working for an employer and I received a message like this, I would be instantly triggered to delete this person or really just send another scathing email back, convincing them that I'm not wrong and in fact they're wrong. But I'm not doing that here because I think there's so much that we can all learn from this email. And it takes a lot for somebody to take the time to send an email to me like this, and I'm open for all of it, okay? I'm not personally responding to these types of emails. First of all, this person's not a client of mine, and I choose not to take a personal response to these types of messages. You are welcome to send them to me, but don't expect a response. But because I have a large audience on the podcast, I thought it would be good to respond here. So first, I want to define authenticity. Okay, being authentic means that you act in ways that show your true self and how you feel. Rather than showing people only a particular side of yourself, you express your whole self genuinely. That means to succeed in being authentic, you first have to know who your true self actually is. Okay, that's the definition of authenticity. So I know who I am. I know where I stand in my values. I know that I am somebody that cusses and that I share what I am learning and growing and evolving with the world. That is who I am. And I'm not going to hide that from anybody. I actually can't imagine doing that as a life coach, to be honest with you. I can't imagine me editing myself in my life and what I do just so I could get somebody as a customer. Okay, because that's not what I teach. I teach and coach my clients to be authentic and to be the people that they are and to share their struggles and to share what's going on with their overdrinking and to not be scared of doing that because of what other people will think. I spent almost 40 years of my life editing myself to fit this mold of what I thought I should be, based on what society told me to be as a woman, as a wife, as a daughter, all as an employee, all of it, and it did not serve me. I wasn't being true to myself, and when I wasn't being true to myself, I drank and ate a lot of shit, and I buffered and I numbed out from my life because I wasn't living in my fullest capacity. Are you following me there? So I am not going to edit my life based on what I think will be palatable for my audience to hear, because that's not what I teach. I would be in conflict with my core values and how I teach and coach and help people if I did that. So I am an open book. I am open to sharing with you all the things. And I think the reason why I've been so successful in my business, in my practice to help women stop over drinking, is because you know what you're getting when you come on to work with me. There's nothing I'm trying to hide here, right? Like, you like that about me because I've been in your shoes with your relationships, with the life struggles that you've had, and I've shared how I've overcome that, and that helps you apply the things that I've learned in my life to your life, and you get the benefit of that. Okay, so I can't imagine being a life coach. I'm somebody that helps you improve your life. I just happen to specialize in over drinking and not helping you navigate some of these things that we're all navigating right now. And if I'm not open to sharing what is going on with my life and my values, then I would be inauthentic in saying that I could help you navigate those issues in your life. Okay, because we all know it's not just about over drinking, right? We know that the drinking is just something that we do in response to how we are thinking about the areas in our life. If you've been following along, you know that that's the case. It's not about the alcohol. It's about what we think about ourselves. It's about what we think about our businesses. It's what we think about politics. It's what we think about other people who don't share the same political views or values as us, right? Those thoughts cause our feelings, and then our feelings drive our actions of drinking. So it's really not about just over drinking. It's our whole rainbow of the aspects of our life, okay? So now I want to talk about welcoming people in. Now, this is the part that is going to get a little bit sticky, and just stick with me as I sort of verbalize and navigate this. So much of our culture, so much of our society, especially right now in the United States, and this is nothing new, this has been going on for years and years and years, but we are very divided in how we think politically, right? So we think that if you don't think this way, you are wrong. And the other side that says, if you don't think this way, then you're wrong. So we've got two sides here that both think the other side is wrong. And as long as we keep doing that, we do not move forward as a society. We stay polarized in our own thoughts and beliefs, okay? So I want to talk about welcoming people in instead of canceling them, okay? And I believe that it's about being true to yourself and what you want to believe, and giving the other side love regardless of what they think and their values. Okay? So if you're willing to do this, you're going to create a life so full you won't want to buffer away from it anymore. Just like I could have responded to that person's email and, shared with them how they're wrong and how I am right, and been angry in that response and shut them off of my atmosphere, right? I am welcoming that feedback. I am welcoming them in with love and openness. Because when I do that, I feel good. It feels better for me to choose to feel that way than to feel anger and frustration. And then from that anger and frustration, I tend to do things that would not be helpful for my life or for theirs. Okay? So I'm also want to tell you this. So in addition to welcoming people in and being open to hearing other people's stories and other people's beliefs and opinions, and not shutting them off, not deleting them, not blocking them, not canceling them, I want to tell you this. My thoughts and beliefs change all the time. I think and believe that my thoughts should change and evolve over time. My beliefs now might change and shift over the next year, the next 5 years, the next 20 years, and I want them to. I had the same old beliefs and thoughts in my head for almost 40 freaking years. And once I learned that I didn't have to keep these old beliefs and thoughts that didn't serve me anymore, I evaluated them and I let go of thinking that I knew best all the time. I don't know the best thing all the time. What I do know is that all of our drama, all of our divisiveness is all our own thinking. It's sentences in our brain that keep us separate and in conflict. And if I can change my thoughts about drinking and my thoughts about old, tired relationship beliefs, about what other people should be doing or not doing, about my dad, about my husband, my closest friends, about myself, if I can challenge my own thoughts and beliefs and change them, you can too. Me being authentic is me sharing my life, all of it, not just what I think you want to know, because you might buy something from me. And this should be a good thing. When you are evaluating hiring somebody, you want this, all right? Like this podcast is a lot for me as it is for you. Me sharing what I'm working on and what I'm observing in my life through this podcast. I want to help you stop over drinking, but it also helps me navigate and explore and verbalize what I'm thinking. And when I'm doing that in an authentic way, my life is better. Okay, so there isn't just for a purpose of getting a customer, right? There's a whole gamut of reasons on the other end of that. Okay, so my authenticity helps me live my life to its fullest, and it feels good for me to be an open book. There's no secrets, there's no surprises, right? So if you do buy from me, you know what you're getting. I welcome all people inside my sphere, all political views, all people, as long as you are open to seeing that you can think about something different. I don't hold the belief that other political views are bad. Just like I don't think that people who overdrink are bad or that alcohol is bad. We need to be open to all the people and not exclude or delete or unsubscribe people whose views are different than ours. That is what creates so much divisiveness. I believe that we can coexist and learn from everyone, and I hope to create a space for people who want to work with me to have that. I'm sure you probably have a family member who doesn't have the same views or values or political affiliations as you, and you still love them, right? And if you don't love them or aren't willing to be present with them, you are missing a whole lot of love and connections and other amazing experiences you could have with them. It's exactly the same, in my opinion, as being racist or sexist. You are shunning somebody, okay, based on what they think or believe. You are excluding them based on some external identifying factor. And when both people are doing this, we don't get anywhere. The racist still goes on being racist, and the progressive liberal still goes on being liberal, only interacting with people who think and act like them, which doesn't help anybody anywhere. It doesn't help our society move forward. It doesn't help you personally move forward. Both people aren't open to the other, and we don't progress in our society. So both sides, in my opinion, are wrong. So what if you could be your true authentic self and share your values and be open with who you are and find a place where you can coexist with people who don't have the same values, and you might even learn something from each other? What would that be like? Really imagine that. Now, I'm going to tell you, if I get hateful comments or racist or sexist or anti-gay comments or any of that in inflammatory emails or comments on my Facebook or any public stuff, I'm going to delete that, and it's just not going to be tolerated. And I'm likely not going to stop and respond to you, right? Or convince you that you're wrong or get into an argument with you or all that. You are allowed to think whatever you want about me. And I'm just going to let you be wrong about me, and I don't need to prove why you're wrong, all right? You guys are allowed to think that all day long. I don't even want to challenge you on that, right? It's like what I teach my clients about husbands and spouses. Let them be wrong about you. You engaging and going on the defensive mode about why they might be wrong about you makes you feel bad. And when you feel that defensiveness or that anger or that frustration, you tend to take actions in your life that don't help you, like drinking, right? Listen, but if you come and you're open and willing to explore your own thinking about these topics, I will support you and help you navigate any topic anytime. I believe I can have my values publicly shared and to openly swear and cuss and be vulgar, if you want to call it that, and help people who don't have my same values or swear as much as me. I have a lot of clients that don't swear, believe it or not. But they can see past that because they believe that what I have to say is valuable, and they've applied it to their life and they've gotten amazing results. So getting back to when you don't show up as your true authentic self, we buffer, we drink. There's a conflict there. We're holding back. We don't say the things that we want to say, and that doesn't feel good to us. When you know you are not being who you are in the world and saying what you want to say and being who you are and sharing your struggles and the real you, you feel hidden and like there's something wrong with you, and you buffer that away by drinking, eating, scrolling on Facebook, doing things and activities that don't help you move forward. So this is being inauthentic to who you really are. You don't risk yourself. You don't put your whole self out there in the world to see yourself fully. You're hiding a part of yourself. And after doing this for many, many years, it starts to take its toll. You're only doing things for other people's benefit or to appear a certain way to your customers or your friends or your family. And you're basically lying, and it doesn't feel good. And then you hide from yourself by drinking and numbing and escaping, okay? And why being authentic is the key to you stopping over drinking, and why it's so important. When you hide who you are, when you worry about what other people will think of you, you show up in a weird, fake sort of way, and other people can sense that. And you know it, and you sense it. And it's not good for anybody involved. It's not having a true, honest connection with other people or yourself, right? It's just like lying to people just to save them from feeling uncomfortable and for you to not feel uncomfortable with their uncomfortableness. You're just trying to avoid being uncomfortable, and then it creates a heck of a lot more discomfort in your life than what you're actually trying to avoid, right? Be you, the real amazing you in all that you do, because it is who you are, and you are meant to be here exactly as you are. The world has space for all of us. I promise it does. Welcome in the other people in your life, in your sphere of influence. Don't cancel them or delete them. What can you gain by having them in your life? What would you lose if you didn't have them? There is room for all of it, I promise. Be you. Share your struggles. Share your realness. And share your goals, share your dreams, share your aspirations with your people, to whoever will listen. Scream it in the sky, in the middle of the woods if you need to. Start there. The more you can share who you are with your struggles, with your over-drinking struggles, telling people you want to stop over-drinking, telling people what you think about your political views in a compassion, loving, open way, it will not do you harm. It's okay that you're uncomfortable. It's okay that the other person might feel uncomfortable with what you have to say. We need to stop trying to avoid discomfort in our lives. It's okay for it to feel awkward and weird, all right? We're supposed to have these emotions. And the more you can get comfortable with it and being you and sharing who you truly are, the faster you'll progress towards your goals, and the faster that you'll start living the life that you want to live in your authentic self. I promise you, it's one of my core values and beliefs that I have adapted since very early on with my own journey to stop over drinking. I stopped worrying about what other people thought of me. It's okay if they have thoughts about me that are wrong. Okay, I know who I am, and I'm not going to be, editing myself because I'm worried about what other people are thinking, or if they will become my customer, if I have more email followers or people, following me on social media. That is not why I'm here. I am here to live my life to the fullest, and part of that is sharing with you who I am and how I navigate this life of mine through this podcast. So I know that was probably a big old pill to swallow. Go back and listen to this. Be open to hearing from this. I don't want you all canceling each other's out, deleting your friends on Facebook, getting in fights with family members, because that really just hurts you. Okay? It doesn't help the other person come along to being open to what your side and your beliefs have. None of it. Okay? And I want you to know that I'm here for all of it. If you're open to navigating this stuff and thinking about this stuff differently, I'm here for you. So just let me know. All right, my friends. Listen, if you want to join me and stop over drinking and start living, my 6-month coaching program, highly recommend you're getting your applications in. We've got less than a month now where I'm shutting down the program for the rest of 2020, and starting in 2021, the prices are going up and the program is going to be changing ever so slightly. So if you want in now, I highly recommend that you get that application in. There's a link here in the show notes where you can read through the information about the program, watch some videos to get the full context of it, and get your application in to join me and stop over drinking and start living, where we coach on all of the things, right? Drinking is something that we do in response to how we are thinking about our lives. And I can help you think about your life in a way that feels good so that you want to drink less and start doing more of what you want to do. All right, my friends. Oh, next week I'm also hosting a free masterclass called How to Enjoy the Holidays Without Overdrinking. It's on Monday evening. Click through to the show notes and sign up for that free masterclass. I'll be sharing you my favorite tips and how to navigate the holiday seasons and have a good time, and it being during a pandemic, and not feeling deprived or like you need to drink through it to have a good time. All right, my friends, I love you so much. Have a lovely week. Bye for now.